Excuse the police, fire, whatever driving past. This is real filming, you know. It's not a YouTube fancy studio or anything. I never thought I'd be showing my old underpants on YouTube, but there you go. I've got a bit of trouble at mill. Oh, let me show you. Hello, welcome to Rusty Bottom Workshop. My name's Stan. We've got a bit of trouble at mill with the van. What's happened? Some swines nipped my door panel. There, look. Well, they haven't really. I took it off early today because we have got a bit of trouble at mill. I've got a bit of a soggy panel. And you know how uncomfortable that can be when you've got a soggy panel. Right, what happens if you're fortunate enough to have factory fitted, VW factory fitted sliding windows like I have? This one's a twin slider. They do have a habit of leaking, and they kind of work the way down here, and there's just see a bit of water still there. Works its way down here all over your lovely panel, made from hardboard, of course, because VW aren't wants to spend any money on things like that. I've been doing that for years. Leaks down there, and the bottom pit in particular collects, and also sometimes you get water collecting on here if the seals here are not that great, and all the water is absorbed by the panel or whatever you got on top of the panel, and then everything just swells up because it's hardboard. Hardboard's useless for that sort of thing. Now, a couple of years ago, I trimmed the van up, so I put new headlining, new panels and carpet. So that's what I've done here on this side, you'll be able to see. And this is what I mean. It stands a little bit prouder than the normal one, and because it's carpet, all the water just wicks onto the carpet and works onto the board, and that's the end of that. Now this one's okay. It's only this one. But of course, if I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do on this side, I need to replicate on the other one, or it's going to look a bit stupid, isn't it? So my plan is to repair the, excuse the police, fire, whatever driving past. This is real filming, you know. It's not a YouTube fancy studio or anything. I'm going to try and repair the actual hardboard. The hardboard's okay. It's just a little bit at the end needs a bit of love and attention. So we'll show you how to do that. And then I think I'm going to recover the bottom part of the panel with a different material, just to make it look a bit nicer. So come on, let's go and have a look. So this is the panel. I brought it into the house, and as you can see, so it's upside down. As you can see, there's staining where the water's soaked in. Look on the other side. There, that isn't penicillin, that's glue. But I've wiped this down with alcohol just to clean it. I've just put the heating on, and I'm resting it against the radiator for about half an hour just to completely dry this out. And I'm going to replace the material, put some of the carpet, a slightly darker colour at the bottom, and I think I'm going to run some vinyl on this bottom bit just to stop it getting wet again in case it leaks again, but we'll come to that in a minute. I'm going to try and repair the hardboard panel. As you can see, it looks a little bit crispy. I've peeled back the carpet, and really the only bit that's damaged, or I won't say beyond repair, but the worst here is just one little corner there. It's a little bit on the delicate side. The rest of it's fine. If I was doing this properly and I was recovering everything, I'd just buy some very thin plywood, use this panel as a template, and just make a new one. Plywood's superior to hardboard. Hardboard's it's completely the wrong material to use in a vehicle anyway, regardless. So I think I'll do a bit of a stand bodge, a temporary fix, we like to call it in the Rusty Bottom Workshop world. And I'm going to paint, I'm going to try and fix this as much as I can. I'm not going to remove this completely. I was originally going to peel this right back to about there, cut it off, because I'll be putting new material onto the top of it. but actually there's nothing wrong with it, and it'll just help to retain its strength. So first thing I'm going to do is paint this with some PVA glue so the fibres can soak in and seal together and stick together, and then I think I might use some epoxy glue. I'm going to put it across all of this, let it set. I think that will be my option. That should be more than strong enough for keeping this going for a few more years. Originally I was thinking, I've got some very thin plywood here. I was actually going to cut this out completely up to about there, put that in there, and then put another piece of plywood over the top, overlapping it to give it the strength back. But the problem is, when you do that, or even just put a panel on the back of this and just glue it on the top and give it its strength, which is fine, but the thing is, this is quite thick. Start to push the panel away from the door pressing, and then it'll just stick out. It'll just look rubbish. So we'll give this one a go first, and then we'll see how we go. I mean, knowing my luck, I'm probably bound to replace the whole thing anyway, but let's have a go, right? Right, so I've placed a bit of cardboard underneath and a bit of polystyrene just to stop it soaking through. I've got some PVA and I'll brush. I'll try not to dribble it down the side of the Bentley. And the reason I'm using PVA rather than wood glue, I just want the fibres to soak in, to give it half a chance at retaining some strength. Again, probably the amount of effort involved in just doing this little patch, it's probably more than me just buying a whole sheet of thin plywood like this one and just redoing the whole thing. But I'm not known for my common sense. Right, I'll leave that to set. One top tip: if you've got any old socks or old underpants, keep them. Use them for jobs like this, or mopping engine oil up, that kind of thing. I never thought I'd be showing my old underpants on YouTube, but there you go. That's the way life goes. Alright, we'll leave that one to set. I'll come back to it. Okay, quick change of plan. I've decided I'm going to glue some thin plywood onto this after all. I think I'm probably just overthinking it. So I've cut the plywood with a bit of jigsaw using my template. I'm just going to take sharp edges off, just with a bit of sanding block. Try not to sand all over the Bentley. There we are, so that's all done. So what I intend to do is put that onto there, put a ton of wood glue on it, compress it between a sheet of hard plywood on this side and on this side, and leave it overnight. So I have my wood glue, I've got my big sheet of plywood that I'm going to put underneath the panel to hold it into position. I've got a sheet of ply to go on the top. I've got my actual panel that I've cut out. Got my wood glue, and I got some cling film. Yeah, cling film. I'll explain in a minute. First thing to do is to just move the camera. Is to layer on quite a bit of wood glue on here. Now I've marked out where this is going to go. You can see that. Now just layer on the wood glue. Don't be shy with the wood glue, it's really amazing stuff. It's actually stronger than the wood itself. When it sets, it's really, really strong. But the trick to this is to make sure you compress it so it really presses against each other. It's kind of like a impact adhesive kind of thing, where you really need that compression to give it its strength. I'm just going to just move the camera. That's better, isn't it? Literally just press this on the top. Make sure it's in position. Make sure all the glue squeezes out, and make sure that's kind of in line with the panel underneath. You don't really want it going any bigger than what's already there. Right, so that's that. Right, now, cling film, I hear you ask. Cling film! There you go, I heard you ask. What's that for? Well, I'm going to wrap this top piece of plywood that's going to go on there with a bit of cling film or a bit of plastic sheet. I didn't have any plastic sheets, so thinking on my feet, I thought I'd just use cling film out of the kitchen. Put this on. Fiddly stuff, isn't it? And put the cling film bit side down onto there, and the idea is if any glue comes out and squeezes onto this hard plywood, you don't want this gluing to it either, do you? So making sure the material, there we go, material's not good, not stretched. This is still in position, it is, and that's that. Now next thing is to get some clamps. Don't worry Bentley fans, I'm not going to leave this panel on my S-type Bentley, it's going over somewhere else. So I'm just going to move that there and try not to have the camera fall over. And that is that. I'll put this away somewhere out of harm's way, not resting on the Bentley bonnet obviously, and let it dry tonight, and we'll come back tomorrow and see what it looks like. Okay, it's the following day. I'm going to remove the clamps and let's see if the repairs worked or not, otherwise I have to do it all over again. Okay, let's take that off. Now you know why I put the cling film on. Look how much of the glue has come out there. Now let's check to see if it's dry. That's still a bit wet. It's still a bit wet. Needs more drying time. Yeah, I'm going to put that back on. I'll clamp it. I'll clamp that back together and I'll put it back on the radiator again. This is all nice and dry now. That doesn't look very pretty, but it's all nice and dry, and that's really strong now. I was looking at the van and realised that I could put material on top of this, but it's building everything up out of the way, and I think what I need to do is trim off the bits that I'm going to cover with new material, and then put the new material on top of it. So I've looked at the van, I've measured it, I'm kind of using these points here as a guide. At the moment I'm going to go at 5 inches. For all you metric people, what's that? That's 12.7 centimetres. Like, you don't use centimetres anymore, do you? Because you want to use millimetres for 7 million things. Well, I'm a 5-inch boy, so let's stick with it. Feet and inches. I'll do the same on this side. Now we're going to use this, right? So I've put a brand new super sharp blade in the knife. I'll hold this down and just take my time slicing that across. Done. I've got a very sharp edge there now. I want to try and protect this side as much as possible and not move it, so I'm just going to peel things off this side. So this is the carpet that I bought. I think I'm just going to glue it with spray glue on here and here and just butt it up to this so you get a nice straight edge, because I think there's enough give in this carpet to do that. So I'm just going to measure, there's enough here for stretch to go around. And I'll pull it out, it does stretch quite far, and that's what you want. You want that tension on it to be a bit flat. So I don't need to cut a lot of it. So the edge of the panel's there. So that's about 6 inches. I'm just going to add about another 2. So the total amount is about 8 inches to wrap around underneath. I'm measuring 8 inches. There's the soft side is the outer side, and this slightly flatter side is for the underside. So I've turned it upside down. Got my trimmer's chalk. I'm going to measure 8 inches. Okay, so here I am. I've set up a temporary bench. This is my panel. I've just covered it over with a bit of carpet, a bit of towel or something, just to stop any glue going onto this panel, which you don't want. I've overlapped that a little bit just so you don't get any glue, because this stuff you need spray adhesive like this, which is like a high temperature one, usually for carpets and cars. Give it a good shake. That's my actual material. I need to do that as well. Just going to move this over a fraction. A bit more of a shake. And just do that. Just a bit underneath. That's what we need for that. Next thing, this. I normally wear rubber gloves, latex gloves when I'm doing this, but as I'm holding the camera, I don't want to get my camera on my fancy view. I don't want to get glue on my camera, so I'm going to take the risk for sticky fingers. One on there, and then we'll spray this. Right, so if you remember, this side's soft, this side's flat, and we want to spray on the flat side. Got my marks there and there, which is the top, which is going to line up with this. Another shake, get rid of any bits of rubbish on there. And off we go again. Oh, what's that? Get rid of that. And that's it. Make sure you give the edge of that a clink, otherwise it sticks to the end. You have to spend ages picking it. And now we've got to leave that to dry. I'd give that about 5 or 10 minutes. It has to be touch dry, that's really what this kind of adhesive is for. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. What I have done though is I've taken that towel off that had the glue from the overspray for this. Be careful because this stuff is really stringy and sometimes it goes over onto this side, which is really annoying and it's a pig to get off. So try and flip over and push those little, I don't know what you'd call them, they're like miniature cobwebs I suppose, just push them back. I don't think it's going to matter too much here because the panel's quite a light coloured one and it's joining this, so it should be alright. But just something to bear in mind. Put it this way. And what we have to do is these corners, when the bend is about there, cut that. Should have got some sharper scissors. Now to be honest, this carpet is a bit of a pig to cut, especially when it's got glue. Now we're going to trim this bit off because we don't need all that. And the same on this side. Not too much though. You can always cut it back later on. I'm going to put a V in there. Oh, I wish I had my better scissors. I don't know where they've gone. Put a V in there. And you stain back from the edge. I'll show you the reason why in a moment. Same with that one. Because this is carpet, you don't really need to be too accurate, but when you're cutting something like vinyl or fabric, that's a different game. Same on this side, where the material just starts to bend about there. Just cut a little V out. I think I was trying to cut the towel underneath, which is why it's so difficult to cut on the other side. I didn't lift the board up, but anyway, you can tell this is a professional YouTube channel, can't you? This is all scripted. I've practiced this so many times. That's why it looks so slick. Right, so this bit, you can also, if you're not 100% sure, you can also just squirt a bit more glue on there. I did that earlier, but yeah. Let's just give it a bit extra. I'm just gonna pull that over and then pull that over. And what will happen is the carpet, because it's so stretchy, will just fill out all the gaps. You don't want a gap there, and just work your way around. And that's the reason why we cut the V's out, so the material doesn't overlap. I might have to just trim it a bit with a knife just to make it a bit nicer. There we go. Pull that over. Don't go mad pulling this. You're only just gently pulling it over. Anything like that that's kind of doubled up, cut that extra material out. And the same here. Just pull that down and pull that across. And what I normally do with this, when you've got a nice straight panel, a straight one like this, put your hand underneath, you're kind of pulling forward and just work your way round. Just keeping the tension on it. Don't have to be too much, just enough just to take any air bubbles out or anything else. And just work your way around. The main thing is your hand underneath to keep this straight. Now, carpet's very forgiving, so you can get away with a lot with this one, so it makes life a lot easier. Just going to trim a bit more of that. Watch your fingers with your shiny new sharp blade. Always fit a new blade, brand new one. Doesn't matter if the one's sharp, if you've been using it for a while. For this kind of work, always fit a new blade. and then here, and then just pull that way a fraction just to make sure that that doesn't want to separate. This isn't the best setup here. I haven't got a proper table for this. In a previous life I used to be a trimmer. I'd love to have all the proper stuff, but that's not going to happen. Right, so trim that extra material off. If you want to be really professional, you're going to trim this off so you get a nice straight edge. Just pull that away. Now, as I said earlier in the video, because I've glued this on, it's going to push the panel out a little bit, but, well, I don't think anyone's going to notice too much. I don't think. I will, because I'm a bit odd like that, but that's just me. I don't think anyone else will care. Right, so just make sure that's on tight. You want a fair bit of carpet on the side of the panel because it's the bit that touches the metal on the door, and you don't want it rattling, do you? So let's have a look to see what it looks like. Well, there we go. It's not too bad, is it? Just push that there. That chalk should come off. Maybe I should have used a different colour, but anyway, there you go. Well, there we are. So I was trying to make this complicated. In the end, the easiest option is the best. I'll put it on, see how it looks. I'll do the other side first. I might still put a thin layer of vinyl on here on the bottom, just in case it's touching the bottom step with the problem with the water. But oh, I don't know, we'll see how we go. It might look a bit rubbish, I don't know, but this is okay. Anyway, that's panel 1 done. Got to take the other one off, and we'll see what, and we'll just repeat the same process. Okay, I want to show you how to remove the rear panels on a VW Transporter. They're very easy to do. I've already removed, mine's a twin slider van, so I've already removed the panel on this side for later in the video, which is repairing the panel, but this is the other side, which obviously I haven't done yet. They're held in with some really not particularly great quality plastic clips. So you've got this, and the centre bit there, it acts like a bit of a screw. It's got like a screw thread on it, but it hasn't, not really. And you push that into there, and that, can't see that, can you? It separates those little tabs. They push out and they hold the panel on. To remove them, you just need to put a screwdriver underneath it and just basically prise the thing out. So that's how it fits there. Just pull that out and it comes out. Now, because I've put carpet onto these, the carpet or any material you might be deciding to put on, it's going to be a thicker panel than it was with just the hardboard. So I'd recommend you buy some slightly longer length ones, and I got these from eBay. They're usually quite cheap, and they do them in different colours, like pale colours like this, or even the dark grey and black. I've ordered a few of those as well. And these are much better, the same principle. Little tabs stick out when you push the centre bit in. Now this isn't pretending to be anything other than a peg, so just push it in, and to take it out you just put a screwdriver underneath and pull it out. And I'll show you how to do that with this one. Okay, so I'll just show you how to put the panel back with these little pins. Line it up. It will fit, it will only fit in one way because of the way this is cut out, and there's a plug there as well. And these, they just push in like that, and then you just push that in there. It only goes in kind of one way. Push that in, and then you're going to need like a soft mallet, a nylon mallet or something. Tap it in and it's done, and then just have to repeat for all the other ones. So far I'm quite pleased with that.